Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. Now, first we welcome Mary and Sophie. Now, how do you two know each other?
Sophie's my only child, and we live in North London. She's still living at home, and she will move out one day.
Splendid. What do you like to do, Sophie? What are your hobbies?
Well, at the moment it's attending weddings because all my friends are getting married, and I've joined a book club, which is cool.
Very. What are you reading at the moment?
It's a sci-fi novel, so which has been recommended by someone else.
Very good. And what are the rest of the group feeling about that? They like sci-fi, or are you all...
I think we're struggling a little bit getting through it. It's a bit of a tome.
Have you had to recommend your own book yet?
Not yet.
I imagine I'd be a bit nervous about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'd recommend one perhaps a little bit higher brow than the type of book I normally like, just so people thought I was very clever.
Yes.
I think that's exactly what I do.
That's my strategy.
Yeah. Mary, what are your hobbies?
I love travelling, and we do a lot of travelling together, actually. We've been to quite a few places.
Is she a good travelling companion, Sophie? Is she good?
Love travelling with her. We always laugh at the same things.
So we always laugh at the same people.
Usually ourselves.
Very good indeed. Well, lovely having you on the show. Very best of luck. And now next we welcome Laura and Naomi. Now, how do you two know each other?
Laura and I both had our first children last year, so we met at a mother and baby group.
Did you? So this is after the children were born,
yeah, that's right. It was both of our first days, and we were both in the queue for a coffee and spotted each other and have been good friends ever since.
Now, where have you come from?
I come from Edinburgh.
From Edinburgh. What do you do, Laura?
I'm a primary school teacher.
Splendid. What particular age? I mean, to primary school, the whole lot?
The whole lot.
The whole
yes, I've taught
lot.
nursery, I've taught primary 7, and I've taught in the middle. So anyone, I'll teach anyone.
You'll teach absolutely anyone. And what do you like to do in your spare time, Naomi?
I still enjoy eating out when we can and cooking.
Very good.
And I'm quite a sports fan as well, so as and when I can, I'll get to watch live sport.
Just general sport, or are there particular sports you like to follow?
Football primarily, that's my kind of number one, yeah.
Whose idea was it to come on the show?
It was mutual.
Yeah,
Mutual.
we're going to take joint responsibility, I think.
All the mummies in our group, really, we discovered we all watched Pointless, and we were the two that decided we'd come on and give it a bash.
Splendid. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
And next, we welcome back Jean and Paul. You were on the show last time. Remind us what happened.
Must we?
Unfortunately, we went out on the second round, which was on musical theatre. We both got our questions wrong, so scored 200 points.
It was a good round for you two, wasn't it? You did so
We're
well.
still waiting for the brooches.
Right, yes.
The 200 Club.
The 200 Club, yes, you are our latest additions to the 200 Club. Yes, I haven't quite worked out what members of the 200 Club should get, but, well,
I think
ridiculed, I hope.
Yes. Maybe an encyclopedia.
An encyclopedia. There we are.
Thanks.
Splendid. Jean, now then, this is the show when you're going to redeem yourselves. What are the categories that are going to help you do that?
Geography. OK, geography would be fine, if you're listening.
Who the hell are you talking to?
I'm listening.
Uh-oh.
That sounded like a prayer. OK. Very good. Paul?
For me, it would have to be Doctor Who this time.
Splendid. That would be a great thing for you, would it, Doctor
Yes,
Who?
it will, because my granddad built me a life-size Dalek that I can actually get inside and control. It is awesome.
Did it have all the lights and stuff on?
Yeah, there's buttons in it, so you can make like the main light go on the eye stalk, and you can make the lights on the top flash, and it's even got a voice changer, so you could actually talk like a Dalek.
It's just exemplary grandfathering. That's superb.
that is awesome. That's raising the bar for any grandfathers out there now.
Well, listen, Jean and Paul, lovely to have you back on the show. Very best of luck this afternoon. And finally, we welcome back Austin and Niall. You were also on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, you see, and this is your second chance. Remind us what happened with you.
We got through to the head-to-head where we experienced the highs and lows of a pointless answer and a wrong answer.
So, on the evidence of your performance last time, we'd have to say your favourites, surely. Although, as I say that, of course, your chances now are absolutely shattered, yes. Austin, what would you like to see come up this afternoon?
Well, I'm a big pop music fan, so I don't know, like top 40 hits by Des O'Connor, something like that there would be quite good enough.
Yeah, OK. Top 40 hits by Des O'Connor. Splendid. Niall, how about you?
I enjoyed the musical theatre round the last time. I probably should have declared an interest being a member of the Ulster Operatic Company for the past 10 years.
So you've sung in lots and lots of musicals, have you?
I've sung quite a few. My favourite show actually is one where I haven't sung at all. I actually operated the plant in the Little Shop of Horrors, which starts off a little sort of glove hand sort of puppet and then grows into this big monster that eats people.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good indeed. Well, it's great having you back on the show. Very, very, very best of luck, despite my predictions for you. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He's a man who gets paid for slating the obvious. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hello. Hiya. Hello there.
How are you?
I'm very well, yeah. It should be a good show today. Austin and Niall were fantastic on the last show, weren't they?
They were.
Really good head-to-head. They're very unlucky to get knocked out, so I think they're going to be very tough to beat. Though Jean and Paul got through to round 2, I think they might do well as well. Bad news for Laura. So round 1 is the sort of thing that a primary school teacher should do well at. Sorry about that.
OK, thank you very much, Richard. Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we're after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they possibly can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £2,500. Right, let's play Pointless. In the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. Now, if anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points, so try to avoid those if you possibly can. OK, our first category this afternoon is words. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words ending in ARM as they could. Words ending in ARM? What a very pleasing constellation of letters there, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any word in the Oxford English Dictionary online edition that ends in the letters ARM. Hyphenated words won't count, and proper nouns, people's names, places, they won't count either. And we won't accept the word arm, I'm afraid, just in case anyone was thinking of saying that.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Mary and Sophie, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So, Mary, we are looking for words that end in ARM.
Well, I'm racking my brain to think of something as obscure as possible, but the best I can come up with is disarm.
Disarm, says Mary. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said disarm. It's right. 32. Nothing wrong with that. 32 for disarm, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Mary. Fairly safe start. Disarm. It's a way of telling a doctor which arm is hurting.
Now, Laura.
Yeah.
Will all your class be watching, do you think?
I think they probably will, yeah. I can't think of anything other than forearm.
Forearmed is forewarned. Let's see if that's right. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. And if it is, let's see how many people said forearm. Very well done. That's a great score, Laura. Very good. 10 for forearm.
Yeah, well played, Laura. It's a very good answer. Forearm.
OK.
The forearm. It's the part between the elbow and the wrist.
Paul.
Hello.
Paul, hello. What word ending in ARM are you going to give me?
I'm going to go with alarm.
Alarm. OK, alarm. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if alarm's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. 65. Ooh, 65 for alarm.
Yeah, pretty big score. A warning sound, obviously, is meant to convey an imminent threat.
Now then, Niall. Remember, we're looking for words that end in ARM.
I'm tossing up between two, and I'm going to go with underarm.
Underarm.
The other one is overarm, as you might have
Very
guessed.
good. Underarm, which in fact features in my name. Alex Underarm Strong. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if underarm is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said underarm. Very well done, Niall. That's a great answer. Best answer of the past. Underarm 4, Richard.
Yeah, very good answer, Niall. Well played. Obviously means under the arm or a way of bowling a ball.
Splendid. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Niall and Austin looking very, very strong there with a lovely score of 4. Then up to 10, where we find Laura and Naomi. Then up to 32, where Mary and Sophie currently reside. And then up to 65, Paul. That was quite a high-scoring answer, wasn't it? So, Jean, you're going to have to find a brilliantly low-scoring answer on the next pass if we're to see you after the end of this round. Right, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, remember, we are looking for words ending in ARM. Now, Austin,
Yes.
the high scorers are Jean and Paul on 65, which means if you can score 60 or less,
Yeah.
you are definitely through to the next round.
Okay. There's a word I have in mind, but I can't be sure, first of all, whether it's a word, and second of all, it might be hyphenated, so I might have to go for something slightly safer. So I'm going to use my charm and say charm.
You're going to say charm. Well, here is your red line. If charm gets you below that red line, it will get you anywhere. OK, let's see. Charm. Is it right? And if it is right, how many people said charm? It's done it. Very well done. 55. 55 takes your total up to 59. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Austin. A trait that exerts an attractive influence or a spell. Charm.
Now then, Jean and Paul. You're the high scorers. You have to score as low as you possibly can with this answer.
I know. I'm toying with something which might be dialect, or it might be half of something else. Or I might just have imagined that it exists at all. I'm not quite sure. I've not got any other answers, so I'm going to try balm.
As in balmy.
No, balm cake.
Balm, as in
balmy.
balm cake.
Oh, balmy. But balm cake I prefer.
Paul's right behind you, Jean. You're saying balm. No red line for you, obviously, because you are the high scorers. Let's see if balm's right, though. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. Very well said, Jean. It's right. 17 for balm takes your total up to 82. Richard.
Yeah, balm, as in balm cakes. It's the fermentation process actually that makes bread. But balm can also be another word for a lady's bosom. So, if you're, yeah. So, if your husband calls you balmy, just say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now then, Naomi. The high scorers are still Jean and Paul, now on 82. You're on 10, which means if you can score 71 or less, you're through to the next round.
I'm struggling to think of anything very clever, so I'm going to go with what I hope is a safe answer and go with warm.
Very good. You're hoping the orm pronunciation might put people off its scent.
That's the logic.
OK, well, there's your red line. That's what 71 looks like. And if you can get below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see if warm gets you down there. Warm. It's right. And you are through. Still going down. Look at that. 46. 46 takes your total up to 56. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Naomi. Didn't need to take a risk. That's seen you safely through.
Now then, Sophie, we come to you. You're on 32. The high scorers, Jean and Paul, are on 82. You have to score 49 or less to be through to the next round. What are you thinking?
I found this quite hard, actually. But I'm going with it might be a risk. I'm going to go for self-harm.
OK, you're hoping that's correct? You're hoping that's one word?
Yes, yeah.
Self-harm. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said self-harm. Oh, bad luck, Sophie, bad luck. That's exactly the right sort of risk to take, but I'm afraid it's an incorrect answer. That scores you 100 points and takes your total up to 132. Bad luck. Richard?
Yeah, sorry, Sophie, hyphenated. Self-harm, of course, which is what you have to do if you're moving from the country to the city.
Yeah. No, that took me all of a minute to get. Very good.
So it's a real bit of luck there for Jean and Paul. Paul got away with his alarm. Funnily enough, if you'd said unalarm or disalarm, you would have got a pointless answer. Both pointless. Let's take a look at some more pointless answers, though. Counter charm, which means to counter the effect of a charm, as in the expression that Piers Morgan is a very counter-charming man. Defarm, disalarm, which means to disconnect an alarm or to placate. Gendarme, which is
Old English for a policeman.
Well, it's slang for a policeman, yeah, taken from the French gendarme. Outarm, overswarm, that was a pointless answer. Schwarm, which is a crush. If you have a schwarm on somebody, you have a little crush on them. Subfarm and unalarm. There you go, that was a pointless answer. Very well done if you said any of those.
Where was yardarm on that?
Yardarm, I'm afraid, is 2 words or a hyphenated word.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd have been swinging from it.
Yeah, wouldn't you just?
Had I been...
Let's take a look at the most popular answers, the ones that most of our 100 people said. We've already heard alarm there from Paul, that was 65. Then harm, 73. And farm, 81.
Thank you very much, Richard. So, at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm sorry to say, Sophie and Mary. I thought that was a great answer, self-harm. Blooming hyphenated. Who would have known? What a shame, though. And did you have that all the way through? Were you thinking, oh, this is a great answer?
No, my mind went completely blank. Yeah. And then my safe answer was taken by those guys. So I was like, no. Sorry.
Well, what a shame to be saying goodbye to you so soon, but we will see you again next time, and we'll look forward to that very much. Sophie and Mary, great contestants. Thanks very much for playing. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, there's only room for 2 pairs, obviously, in the head-to-head, so one of the teams in front of me now will be leaving us at the end of this round. Our category for round 2 is TV. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, so our round 2 question concerns TV game shows and their presenters. TV game shows and their presenters. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you a list of 6 TV game shows on each pass. We asked 100 people who was the first person to be the main host of these shows. If you give us a nice obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, you're going to score 100 points. 12 shows in all, 12 hosts to guess at home.
Thank you very much, Richard. So we're looking for the first person to present these game shows. And here is our first list. We have got 3-2-1, Only Connect, The Crystal Maze, 15-1, The Weakest Link, Bullseye. I'll read those all one more time. 3-2-1, Only Connect, The Crystal Maze, 15-1, The Weakest Link, and Bullseye. There we are, Laura. There are 6 game shows. I would like you to find the most obscure one there and name the person who presents it.
Crikey. Right. I know some of them. I'm going to take a bit of a punt. Sorry. I'm going to go for The Crystal Maze and Richard O'Brien.
You're not sure about that?
No.
Naomi, what do you think?
I'm happy with that.
Naomi's happy. What more could you ask for, Laura?
Nothing. As long as Naomi's happy, I'm fine.
Happy. There we are. You're saying Richard O'Brien for Crystal Maze. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Yes, it's right. Oh, it's a good answer. Look at that. 16 for Richard O'Brien. Richard.
Yeah, very well played, Laura. Good start. Presented the first 4 series of that. Also created the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Richard O'Brien.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Jean.
I'm hoping that this woman is the only presenter of the programme I have in mind, because if there was one prior to her, it's curtains. Victoria Corrin, Only Connect.
Victoria Corrin, Only Connect. Very good indeed. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Victoria Corrin, Only Connect. It's right. Very, very well done indeed, Jean. Brilliant. 1 point. 1 point for Victoria Corrin.
Yeah, very well played, Jean. Lovely. Victoria Corrin presents the BBC4 game show Only Connect. In a roundabout sort of way, she's sort of your sister-in-law, isn't she?
She's my sister-in-law.
Yeah, her brother's wife is your
Wife's sister.
We heartily recommend Only
You've
Connect.
been an answer on Only Connect.
And now Vicky's been an answer on this
lovely
show.
Vicky's an answer on... that
nice.
makes us as a sort of show... Sister shows.
Show-in-laws.
Show-in-laws.
That's nice.
That's lovely.
They never come and visit, though, do they?
Well, no, Christmas. Only Connect came round ours last time, so it's us round them next time.
I suppose so. You know what? They hung around a bit long, didn't they?
Yeah. Now then, Austin. You are the last person to have this board, so you can fill in all the gaps and then pick which one you wish to submit.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Jean for taking my Victoria Corrin answer.
You're welcome.
The other ones, I mean, obviously, the weakest link would be Anne Robinson, and bullseye would be Jim Bowen. 1501 was William G. Stewart, and 321's Ted Rogers. So I'm going to go for 321 with Ted Rogers.
321 Ted Rogers, you're saying? Very good indeed. Let's see if that's right. Ted Rogers for 321. How many people knew that answer? It's right. Not bad at all. 18, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Austin. Although actually, you'd have been better off with 15-1. You're quite right. It's William G. Stewart. Would have only scored you 9 points. He said on quizzes, he said there's only one rule for questions. They should either make you say, "I know that," or they should make you say, "Oh, I didn't know that." It's a very good rule.
I didn't know that.
There you go. And you're absolutely right. Anne Robinson was the weakest link, but would have scored you 77. And bullseye, of course, Jim Bowen. And that would have scored 40. So the best answer on the board there, Victoria Corrin. Very well done if you got that at home.
Thank you very much, Richard. So let's take a look at the scores. We're halfway through the round. Jean and Paul. Vicky Corrin stood you in very, very good stead there. Lovely low score. Then we go up to 16 where Laura and Naomi are, and then up to 18 where Austin and Niall are. So really not much between you. Right, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more game shows on the board, and here they are. We have got Blockbusters, Turnabout, The Cube, Going for Gold, The Generation Game, and Every Second Counts. I'll read those all one more time. Blockbusters, Turnabout, The Cube, Going for Gold, The Generation Game, and Every Second Counts. Now remember, we are looking for the original host of all these game shows, and obviously you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now, Niall, you're the high scorers on 18, so you're going to have to find the most obscure answer you can on that board.
I think Turnabout was Rob Curling.
Well, you'll be pleased to hear that Austin is nodding behind you.
I'm very pleased to hear.
Turnabout, Rob Curling. Let's hope that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Rob Curling for Turnabout. It's right. It's right. I think this might be a low one. Oh, very, very well done indeed. That's a splendid answer. It's a pointless answer too. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £2,750. It scores you nothing, and it leaves your total at 18. Very well done indeed, Niall. That's great. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Niall. It was on BBC One from 1990 to 1996. I used to love Turnabout.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of it?
No.
But you know what? I could sing you the theme tune now. If,
oh, sing me the theme tune.
Unfortunately, it would cost us millions of pounds in royalties. It's,
sing me the theme tune.
No.
Sing me the theme tune.
Good thing on that show is they had spheres. You had to turn spheres to different colours. Your opponent's colours. They went from red to orange to blue, which spells Rob. One of the many good things about Turnabout. I didn't think anyone was going to get Rob Curling. I'm delighted.
Yeah.
That's made my day.
Very good. Splendid. Now then, Paul.
Hello.
Hello. You are on 1. The high scorers are still Niall and Austin on 18. If you can score 16 or less with your answer, you are definitely in the head-to-head.
Right, I don't really recognise most of the games on there. The only ones I know are the Cube and the Generation Game. So I'm going to try and go for the Generation Game and hope it's the first presenter. I'm going to go with Jim Davidson.
OK, you're going to go with Jim Davidson. Is that right for the Generation Game? And if it is, how many people said it? Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, Paul. I'm afraid that scores you the maximum of 100 points, and it takes your total up to 101. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Paul. There's more than one presenter before Jim Davidson brought his own counter charm to that show. I won't give the answer just in case Naomi wants to have a go at it.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Naomi, you're on 16. The high scores at the moment are Paul and Jean on 101. If you can score 84 or less, through you go to the head-to-head. 84 or less.
I think Every Second Counts might have been Bob Monkhouse. I think the Generation Game was Bruce Forsyth. I think the Cube might be Philip Schofield. Can't for the life of me remember Blockbusters. I'm going to say that the presenter of Going for Gold was Henry Kelly.
Henry Kelly going for gold. I can see some nods around the assembled contestantry. There is your red line. That's what 84 looks like on our counter. Will Henry Kelly get you below that red line? Let's see. Going for gold, Henry Kelly. Well done, you've done it. And you're through. Well done, 13, Naomi. That's great. Takes your total up to 29. Richard.
Well played, Naomi. Very good answer. Had that famous theme tune composed by Hans Zimmer, the theme tune to Going for Gold.
How's it go, Richard?
Nice try. And you know, the first ever winner of Going for Gold was Daphne from the Eggheads. It's from the first series of Going for Gold.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Wow.
Let's take a look at all the answers here. The Cube is Philip Schofield. I would have scored you 55 points. Now, the Generation Game, Naomi's absolutely right, it was Bruce Forsyth. Then it was Larry Grayson. Would have scored you 62 points. Every Second Counts is actually Paul Daniels. So that would have scored you 11. And at the top of the board, Blockbusters was, of course, Bob Holness. And would have scored you 37 points. So the best answer on that board, very much Rob Curling. So very well done if you said that at home. And very well done if you are Rob Curling at home as well.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Jean and Paul. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
I was going to go with the Cube originally as well, and with Philip Schofield, but I changed my mind.
Oh, no.
If it's any consolation, you'd have been knocked out anyway. On 56.
Well, there you are. Exactly. Some consolation, but not a great deal. Well, it has been fantastic having you on the show, Paul and Jean. You've been brilliant contestants, and I'm very sorry we have to say goodbye to you so soon this time, but you've been brilliant. Thanks so much for playing. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done, Austin and Niall, Laura and Naomi. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £2,750. Now, for each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many England footballers named David as they could. England footballers named David, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any member of an England World Cup squad or European Championship squad named David or Dave from 1980 right the way through to the World Cup in 2010, please. Where 2 players share the same name, we'll only accept an answer once.
OK, now then, Austin and Niall, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first. England footballers named David.
There's one, I think it might have been 2 of these people, but I'm pretty sure one definitely played for England, and his name was Dave Watson.
Dave Watson.
Yep.
Laura and Naomi. England footballers named David. And you can talk out loud if you like.
Yeah.
We don't
So-
have much to say on
Right.
I'd volunteered to do the brains on this one, and I've got a blank mind at the moment. I mean, there's the obvious David Beckham, but I suspect that's not going to stand up to our colleague's answer. I don't know, do you want to go for a gamble, or do you want to go for a safe bet in case they've got a wrong answer?
let's go for it.
Are you sure? Because I strongly suspect
they'll be right.
we could be wrong.
We've spoken to these guys. We know they'll be right.
Let's go with David Speedy.
David Speedy. Austin and Niall have gone for Dave Watson. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Dave Watson. It's right. It's right. Oh! I don't believe it. Austin and Niall have done it again. This is the second head-to-head pointless answer we've had from you in 2 shows. Absolutely astounding. That's brilliant. That's wonderful. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to the jackpot, takes the total up to £3,000. It scores you nothing. Good luck, Laura and Nemi. You got for David Speedy. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said David Speedy. Oh. Well, bad luck, but if ever there was a category in the moment to get an incorrect answer, it really didn't matter less. I think you were going to have a job matching Dave Watson. Well, that means after one question, Austin and Niall are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, blimey, they're good, aren't they? Those two. Wow. You're quite right as well. There are 2 Dave Watsons played for England, one largely in the 70s, one in the 80s. The chant there's only one Dave Watson doesn't work. Let's take a look at all the answers. He's the only pointless answer up there. Dave Watson there on none. The former Liverpool and Ipswich striker David Johnson on 1. Dave Besant, the goalie, had 2 caps, scored 2. There's David Batty on 12. David Platt, 17. David James, 25. David Seaman, 41. I look at Beckham. David Beckham, 98 points, one of the highest scores we've ever had on Pointless. David Speedy is he's Scottish. So.
That's a bit embarrassing.
That's okay. He's called David though, and he's a footballer.
And he's called Speedy, which is even better. Thank you very much. OK, here is your second question. Laura and Naomi, we need you to win this question, otherwise we have to say goodbye to you. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many members of Pink Floyd as they could. Members of Pink Floyd just gets better and better, doesn't it? Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any person who's ever been a member of Pink Floyd up to the beginning of April 2011, please. There are 6 names on the list.
OK, now then, Laura and Naomi, you go first this time.
Because we all got together for the morning. So David Strang? I might be down.
It's a name. I don't have any other names, so let's go with it.
We're just going to make up a name.
OK.
Yeah, we're not holding huge hopes. We're going to go for David Strang.
David, what a great made-up
Yeah.
name. For heaven's sake, that's brilliant.
Well, David, you know.
If I say, I want to give you a point for that. Please. David Strang. Austin and Niall, David Strang has gone.
That was going to be our answer. We'll try, I think it's Roger Waters. We'll try Roger Waters.
We have Roger Waters, we have David Strang. David Strang, say Laura and Naomi. Is it right? How many people said David Strang? Bad luck, bad luck. An incorrect answer, which means, Austin and Niall, you merely have to be correct with Roger Waters. Let's see if you are. Roger Waters. Yep, you've done it. And for what it's worth, it goes down to 34. But all you had to be was correct after David Strang. And that means, after only 2 questions, Austin and Niall, you are through to the final. Very well done, Richard.
Yeah, unlucky Laura and Naomi, but when you come back next time, Niall and Austin won't be here. That's good news. Yeah, David Strang, of course, he's the saxophonist in Genesis.
Oh, he does exist?
No, he's not really.
Oh.
Sorry. Let's take a look at all 6 answers here. There's one good obscure answer. Bob Close, who was the guitarist who left before their very first single, just scored 6 points. Well done if you got that. Rick Wright, who was the keyboardist, sadly passed away in 2008. He would have scored 18. Nick Mason, the drummer, 21. Dave Gilmour on 29. Sid Barrett, the original front man, on 30. And Roger Waters, actually the top answer, on 34.
Thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of the head-to-head, the losing pair, I'm afraid, is Laura and Naomi. Well, you came up with 2 Davids. And you came up with one incorrect answer and one just wonderfully made-up incorrect answer. David Strang. The trouble is, I always like to pretend I know all the answers to everything. So when Richard said he was a saxophonist in Genesis, I was about to sort of put on a face of going, yes, I knew that. It's awful. Anyway, the great news is we will see you next time when there'll be no more questions on members of Pink Floyd, no more questions on footballers called David, and no more Austin and Niall, because they're going through to the final now. So no excuse for you not to triumph next time, but we'll look forward to that very much. Meanwhile, thanks so much, Laura and Naomi. Brilliant. But for Austin and Niall, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £3,000. Massive congratulations, Austin and Niall. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done. OK, you now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £3,000. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We've had 2 pointless answers on the show today, and both of them were yours. You only have to find one more now, and you will leave here with that money. Firstly, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are the military, Britpop, theatre.
Military's out.
Well, theatre.
Theatre's very wide as well. I would lean more towards
It'll have to be Britpop out of those 3. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yep. We're going to go with Britpop.
OK, you're going to go for Britpop. Well, very best of luck. OK, let's find out what that question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Blur UK top 40 singles as they could. Blur top 40 singles. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any single released by Blur that reached the UK top 40 prior to May 2011, please.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £3,000 jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Got this Charmless Man.
Sounds better than I've got. I've got
Song 2.
Song 2.
Beetlebum.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Country House is too well known.
Yes, quite a big one, yeah.
Boys and Girls.
Yeah.
Very well known.
Did they have recent stuff after the sort of mid-90s? Did they have later on? I can't remember.
Did they come back again?
Because then Damon Albarn went, like the Gorillas and that sort of stuff. This Charmless Man, there's another one around that time. I can't remember what it was.
Never been a big Blur fan, unfortunately.
Oh, maybe Blur. Oasis, one of those. Pulse, it's got to be one of those 3. For Britpop. We've got 3 anyway. I mean,
yep.
Beetlebum, Song 2, and this Charmless Man. I can't think of any other ones. These are the last 20 seconds. Think of any other ones.
No. If you want to phone a friend.
Can we phone a friend? No, I think we've got 3.
You have your 3.
Yeah,
OK, well, we'll stop the clock there. Then your time is now up. We were looking for Blur top 40 singles. I now need your 3 answers. What are they?
OK, we'll go for This Charmless Man.
This Charmless Man.
Yeah. Song 2.
Song 2.
And Beetlebum.
And Beetlebum. OK, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless...
This Charmless Man. Yeah, This Charmless Man.
OK, we'll put This Charmless Man 3rd. What should we put first? What's your
Song
least
2.
likely? So Song 2, OK.
yeah.
And the middle one, Beetlebum. OK, there we are. We'll put them up on the board in that order. And here they are. Song 2, Beetlebum and This Charmless Man. We were looking for Blur top 40 singles. Remember, you only have to find one pointless answer to win that jackpot of £3,000. OK, here is your first answer, Song 2. Is it right? How many people said Song 2? It's right. It's right. Now, if this goes all the way down to 0, you will be leaving right now with £3,000 in your back pockets. Down it goes into 30. Into the low teens. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? That was Song 2.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, not a pointless answer, which means you only have 2 chances left to win today's jackpot. What would you do with £3,000?
I'd like to go back to... I was in Florida a few years back with my wife, but now I have a 2-year-old daughter, Lucy, so I'd love to take her there to see Mickey Mouse and everybody else.
Lovely, lovely. How about you, Niall?
Well, I've got a long hankering for travel, so I can take off again for a few weeks. Maybe go back to Egypt, where I was a couple of years ago.
OK, well, let's hope one of these 2 remaining answers will let you do both of those things. Your next answer is Beetlebum. 13 people got Song 2. Beetlebum surely a more obscure answer. Surely.
It was number one, but I'm not
It
sure.
was
how many
number one,
people-
but it was number
Yeah,
one at a very quiet time of year.
Exactly, yeah. Let's hope so.
Okay, this has to be pointless. If you're going to win that jackpot of £3,000, let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Beetlebum. Is right. Okay, so song 2 went down to 13. Where is Beetlebum going to end up? Down it goes. If this goes down to 0, you leave here with £3,000. It's all going in the right direction. 6 for Beetlebum. Obviously not pointless, though. Okay, you only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. Everything is resting on this charmless man. This was the answer you said you had the most faith in to be pointless.
Those three, yeah.
And that's what it has to be if you're going to win this jackpot. Is it right? How many people said it? This charmless man. Very, very best of luck, Austin and Niall. Oh. Now, unfortunately, that's an incorrect answer. We will discover why. I'm afraid you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £3,000, which rolls over onto the next show, but you have been fantastic contestants. I mean, amazing contestants. And you do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy. So.
That's what we came for, really.
Yeah, unlucky guys. It's not this charmless man. You may be sort of mixing it with this charming man by the Smiths. It's just called Charmless Man, I'm afraid.
Was it pointless?
But it scored you 1 point.
Phew.
So in some ways a relief. Yeah, both of those singles you gave us, both of those were from the album Blur, both from 1997, both big hits. Let's take a look at the pointless answers though, because there's quite a few here, and I suspect you'll know some of them. Bang, which was from their very first album, that was pointless. Chemical World, which was from Modern Life is Rubbish, also pointless. Their penultimate single, Crazy Beat, that was pointless, from the Think Tank album, as was Good Song, that was from Think Tank. MOR was from the same album Blur as your other two answers. The lovely No Distance Left to Run, that was a pointless answer. A couple of top 10 hits here, Out of Time, I think probably the best Blur single, it's just my opinion. And Stereotypes, another top 10 single from the mid-90s. And Sunday, Sunday, another their early songs. Pop Scene, also pointless. And For Tomorrow, also pointless. Very well done if you got any of those at home.
Thank you very much. How many of those did you know?
None.
So,
Well, that's a relief. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, Austin and Niall, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing.
Thank you.
Nobody's won our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £4,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.